considerable amount of time. That's really nice of you. You know, this tour, there are a lot of things that are different from any tour we've ever done before, but one of the things that I like the most is that you may notice that every single one of you is lit up, which means I can see every single one of you in the stadium. And frankly, it's the most beautiful view I could ever imagine seeing in my life. So it's amazing to be able to see you individually, rather than a crowd being like a shadowy, like dark, like. I can see you, which is really good. And you know, the song I'm going to play for you now is a song that in my meet and greets or out just in everyday life when I run into you guys, a lot of people bring up this song actually, which is an amazing compliment because they'll say that this song helped them through a breakup or helped them when they were trying to get over somebody, or even trying to get over a habit that was really bad for them, or an addiction or something like that. And just so that you know, the most incredible honor you could ever bestow on a songwriter would be to tell them that you helped them, that their music helped you through something in your life, and you turned to their music, something they wrote in that moment. Here's the thing about when your heart is broken. I think about it a lot. I think that for people who are heartbroken, it's almost like time slows down to a much more gradual pace. And you're walking around, you feel like heartbreak is written across your forehead, like everyone else can see it. And I think the worst part about heartbreak is that if you think about what it takes to let somebody into your life, what it takes to fall in love, or even just trust someone enough to make a new friend, it takes vulnerability, it takes letting down your walls and letting somebody in, and it takes trusting someone. And I think the worst part about when your heart is broken, or when you get betrayed, or somebody leaves you, is that the first thing you do is you start regretting letting them in, trusting them, and being vulnerable. And you sit there and you think, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? Why did I trust that person? Why didn't I play mind games with them? You're supposed to mess with people's heads. That's what everyone says, but I just let them in. Why did I do that? And I just want you to know that you can regret a lot of things in life, and regrets are valid, but trusting someone, letting someone in, and being vulnerable are not valid regrets. You should never feel stupid for doing any of those three things.
We should never feel stupid for anything we do. That's my girls.
So then you have to move on, right? And you have to replace all these habits of the places where you let that person into your life. And you have to fill in the holes where you made space for them. And it's hard in the beginning, I'm sure, but then what might end up happening is maybe you start replacing all the time you spent with that person with your friends who actually care about you and still want to be in your life. And maybe the decisions you start to make are no longer based on what someone that you're in love with might want you to do. Maybe they're based on only what you want to do. And little by little, you start filling in the gaps. And more each day, time passes and you start to forget that you felt like heartbreak was written across your forehead and you felt like you were painted with it. And then one day, whether it's a year later or a month later, 3 years later, or 7 days later, you look in the mirror and you don't see heartbreak written anywhere on you anymore. And in that moment, you're clean.